So hi, this is Xavier.
Hello, I'm Javi.
And today we wanted to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of why to make video content at trade shows and what are the main types of video content that you can generate during a show. We're going to go through some questions that we're going to be asking, and we'll also be showing you. The first thing is why you should be doing video for trade shows. For sure, many people have been doing video over the years on trade shows. Most companies do it with their own phone, or they have a small camera from the company and they make small video. But the reality is that preparing a trade show can take 3 months in advance. It's a very big event for a small to medium company, and you may be spending between 20 to hundreds of thousands of euros. An event that will happen only in a couple of days. If you leave this only to just the event, you are limiting way too much the exposure you can get from an event like this. If you make good video and you make a good video coverage, you can extend this in a very large amount of time. You can have pieces of content that can last for years, that your potential customers can find, can learn about you, about your product, your services. But also you can increase the impact during the show. Because the reality is that people will go in the morning and will check their social media. In the afternoon, they will check again. So if you are not there when they open their phone, another company will be.
Yeah, they've been seeing another video.
Exactly. And the reality is that we are influenced by what we see every day. And if you see a nice video by another company, you'll probably go and see that company. So you have to be there if you don't want others to stay in that space in the mind of your customers. So I will say this is the first one on why you should be doing it.
So how do videos enhance a brand's presence at trade shows?
For sure, there are many flavors of video. You can do video in many ways. You can do it with your iPhone, you can do it with a point-and-shoot camera, with DSLR, or with a professional camera. All of them are okay. All of them are content. And you can see many influencers that get, hundreds of thousands of likes with something they shoot with a phone. But you have to think of what type of messaging, of communication do you want to communicate to your customers. If you are a skincare product or some shoes brand, funny for young people, it may be okay to shoot simple video with your phone. It's okay, because that's what you want to communicate. That you are close, that you are a young brand. But if you are in the B2B space, technology, people choose components, and this is a very serious decision. If you choose the right component, everything will be happy. If you choose the wrong brand, a company that is not serious, that's not professional, that can give you a lot of headaches. So you want to communicate to your potential customers that you're professional, that you're serious, that you do things very well. And you have to do the same with your video. So company, you are not making TikToks. That's what I want to say. You want to show how professional you are also doing a trade show. For me, a quick review, something goes with the phone, it may be professional. It doesn't show what you really are, what your company is really.
Yep. What preparation and planning goes into filming at trade shows?
Okay, so in terms of planning for the show, normally for the whole show you plan for months in advance. If you want video, you should consider this in your budget because it will have an implication there. It's probably one of the smallest things on what it costs to prepare a trade show, but it has a big impact and it has to be prepared in advance. The preparation probably starts for the video between 1-2 months in advance, where what we do normally is we sit down with the customer to understand, okay, what's your value proposition, who are your ideal customers, what are their pain points, and to understand what you are bringing to the show, what is your key messaging for your customers. With this, then we can organize the rest of the things. Next thing is more the technical. Once you have defined this value proposition and all the content that you want to generate based on this value proposition and what you bring to the show, then you have to prepare technical. This is where Javier can give you.
So what type of videos are you going to make? If you're going to make interviews, if you need 1 camera, 2 cameras, knowing what kind of video you're going to make, what kind of gear you should bring.
Okay, because I've seen many companies trying to do video at trade shows, and it's not always easy. You see the videos later and you see blinking lights from the LEDs.
Yes, it's always very difficult because there are many types of lights, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of noise. and it's difficult to focus on the right voice, on the right lighting.
The most common thing on trade shows is that if something can be wrong, it will go wrong. And there are a lot of chances that video will go wrong if it's not properly prepared in advance. So it is very, very important to have someone that can choose the right gear in order so that you don't get a shitty video because it's blinking, because you cannot hear the person that's talking. It sounds...
Yeah, for us, we brought it to Automatica. We brought 2 different cameras, 2 different lights, 3 different microphones. We were prepared for every scenario.
So what are the biggest challenges that you face when recording at a trade show that we should take into account before going to there?
It depends on the type of video. Because if you're going to make an interview, you should be worried about the sound. There are a lot of people and it's difficult to hear what the other person is saying. Mm-hmm. So you need to prepare in advance. So when are you going to shoot that interview? What time of day? Because for example, in our case, we shot the interviews the very first thing in the morning when there was no public. So there was less noise.
Also, something you have to take into account is you don't want to be showing a video at a trade show with your booth empty. So how do we mix the two to have a clean, nice interview without people messing around, but at the same time to be able to show that your booth is full of people and people is interested in you?
So you shot the interview when there is no one around, so there is no noise, and then you shot the B-roll, the secondary images that you're going to put over the interview. You shot that when the booth is busy, when there's a lot of people, and then you can show that people are interested in your products, and they are going to your booth to show what you have to show. Another thing that you have to take in mind is which kind of lens are you going to use, because every lens has a purpose. And it's not the same using an iPhone who has a wide angle lens to shoot everything.
Okay.
Because if you want to show a product, maybe you just want to show just the product. So you will need a telephoto lens, so you don't shoot anything else. You just focus on the product. But maybe if you're in an event, you can show you need a wide angle lens, so you can show everyone around and you can see everything that's going on in the booth. It also happens in an interview. You have to know which kind of lens are you going to use, because each lens has a different effect on the viewer. If you use like something like a 35mm, is something closer to the human eye.
It feels like you're talking to that person when you see an interview. Yeah. Normally, when you want to make your CEO, your CTO, whoever, speak to the show something to the customer, it's better to feel like he's just very close to it. Just like we're doing right now. We have a wide angle camera lens because we want to feel closer to whoever's there. Okay, let's continue with the next questions.
How do you decide what to cover at a trade show, given the wide range of activities and exhibitions?
Okay, so for sure you want to cover your booth because that's the main goal. But you may have other things. For example, you could take general shots of the show with a drone to introduce your video. That helps a lot. To give like a situation when you start with your first video, right? Mm-hmm. You may also, if you have collaborations at the show, other companies that are either using your product or showing your product, you may also use that. It's something helpful, you know? You can take shots of their booth or the demos they have on their booth. That's helpful. So I would say these are like the 3 main places that you should be taking shots at a trade show. Your own booth. If you have customers or partners around there, you can also use that. And then more general shots, aerial shots to give context to your videos.
How do you ensure that produced videos align with the client's branding and message? Something that you have to take in account if you want to align your videos with the branding of the company. If you have to prepare in advance, you have to know the logos, the typography, the colors, everything about the company. So when you are producing the videos,
you can make something that is aligned with the brand book and then in style with all the company branding, no?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
What type of videos should a company consider creating from a trade show?
The videos that have worked the best with the companies we have been working with. There are 4 types of video content that you can generate during the show. The first one for sure is to present your product. Introducing your product, because it's the most important thing. You want people to buy your product. You're not just there for fun, okay? So product video is important. Here we need to talk later about storytelling, because you cannot just go and here is my product. People don't like that. The next one I would say is a demo video. So if you have any way to demonstrate how your product works, why is this a benefit for your customer. This is very powerful. And normally companies have these nice demos that they put together, and they could show this to many more people if they make a video about this. So it's about show to tell, okay? Show how it works, why this is a benefit to the customer. This will be the second type of video. The third one will be the interview, which works really well. So you can interview a customer, one of your engineers, someone that is relevant to tell something about your company or your products. You may even generate a success story during the show. If you have one of your customers that is showing one of their products that he made using your products, you may have an interview and let him speak for your company. You can have someone telling about your company. So this is another one that works very well. And the last one that works really, really well at trade shows is recording an event. If you're making a presentation about a new product, if you are making a presentation about technology, about a change in the company, if you produce it well, this is one of the ones that has the biggest impact. Tell me, because it's something new, it's because the ambient that you can generate with that, it's not only about the video, it's also organizing a good event. But if you combine it with video, you can make it really, really powerful, because you can get the best of your event in just less than a minute. So it's very powerful. I believe because maybe people don't understand how a video is really produced during a show. So can you explain the whole process, for example, for the first video that you shoot during a show? From getting there, recording, to editing and publishing.
So the thing is, you don't have time to edit almost, because you have to publish the video almost immediately. So you have to shoot everything knowing how are you going to edit. So you have to know in advance what kind of shots are you going to take. You have to take a wide angle, so a wide shot presenting the building, for example, a wide shot of the booth, some different shots of everyone at the booth, of the products, of the hallways and everything. When you're shooting this kind of videos, you are shooting almost in the same order as you're going to edit. So when you are editing the video, you are super fast because you already made the edit when you shot it.
Mm-hmm. You have to take into account that
makes sense.
If you want to make a video coverage of a trade show, so for example the typical 3-day trade show, you will want to post one video morning, one in the afternoon, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. That means that the first day that you arrive there, if the show opens at 9, you will be recording from 9 to 10, 9 to 10:30. You want to publish at 12. So if everything is not prepared in advance, what type of shots you want, what is the video going to talk about? If you haven't scheduled the time with the people that you want to be shooting with, it won't work, okay? So this is what he just said. It's just going there, recording what you know in the order that you know what to do it, and then you can edit live on the event and be able to publish in just a few hours, which is what makes the big difference.
Yeah, and don't shoot anything that you are not going to show in that video, because it's a waste of time. How do you incorporate the storytelling into your trade show coverage to make the videos more engaging?
Okay, so next thing is about the importance of storytelling and story. People is interested about what matters to them, about the challenges, the pains that they have. So storytelling is very linked with that. And if you apply storytelling to talking about your product, it will change completely how you present that product. One very simple order that we normally follow when we do this is about, okay, start by asking first why your company does what they do. Okay, what is your mission? What is your vision of the company? In a very short way, for sure, but to understand what is the mission. Then ask them about how they found about the biggest challenges their customers have. Because that is when we start to connect with the customer, when we talk about their challenges and how they found about them. Once you get into there, which is a bit, you're starting to get into the story, you want to understand, okay, how they found like a new way of solving that challenge or solving it in a better way. So we go from a vision to a problem, how they found a new way to solve this problem. And now you can start talking about the what, which is, what is your product? Tell me about your product. Because I understand that you know me, you know my problems, you found a way to solve them, you care about me, and now you can talk to me about the product. So this is a way that you can apply storytelling even to talk about the product, which sounds weird, but yes, you can do it. For sure, you can do the same with interviews, you can do the same with the event presentation, but you can apply a little bit of storytelling to everything you build, to build this momentum of the vision, problem, and then how you solve this problem and talk about the what and what you want customers to do, for sure.
Okay, last question. Can you share an example of how video coverage significantly impacted a brand's visibility or success at a trade show?
Okay, it's very nice, all this type of content, it looks super nice, professional. Okay, but what's the effect of this, the real case? So
does it work actually?
Exactly, does it work? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
So if you compare the effect that can have the trade show versus the investment, the small amount that adds creating good high quality video, it's huge. If you think that's, for example, the last video we made, compared to the previous year where this company didn't produce consistent content during the show, we just doubled the numbers in terms of interactions and views on their social media. And this is just a couple of weeks after the show, because the reality is that this will continue growing through the rest of the year. And this is just one distribution channel. They may have it on your YouTube. You may create a series of articles about this on your website, so you can make it way bigger. Something that you will also find out, if you do self-reported attribution, if you ask your customers how they know about it, a lot of them will start to talk, no, I saw this video from your CEO, or I saw this video from the other guy talking about this. And this also has huge impact. But for sure, something that is less measurable, it's about the brand. Letting people to know your brand, to understand you are professional, and to understand how you want to communicate your brand. Okay, what feeling do you want to communicate with your brand? This professionalism, this seriousness, this you do things well. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. We'll be happy to make more videos and answer your questions. I hope you like this format. We'll try to make it better next time. Thank you very much and see you soon.
Bye, thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, dude, put up. Then you can cut it, don't worry.